Good afternoon. Today I'm proud to be speaking today to the renowned author Alakananda Pramanik. She's a supermom, a successful business executive with a leading software company, a best-selling author, and an actress. A truly multifaceted personality, she's been featured in the top women achievers of 2020, and she's authored two bestsellers. Well, ma'am, very good afternoon. Thank you for your valued time and for talking to me. What are your first impressions of the book?
Yeah, hi, good afternoon, Neeloy. Thank you for the invitation, and I'm very happy to chat with you. And, firstly, I would like to thank you for the gift of your book. I mean, I was most touched by your message, and especially by the message, the message by your sweet little daughter. It really made me very emotional. And being a storyteller, I loved the real life anecdotes in the form of short stories and the evidences as examples of negative emotions having positive outcomes in different ways for different people in your book. It was really wonderful reading the stories, the experiences, and life journey of notable personalities, the struggles they went through, their fight through pain, and finally emerging as a stronger person. Is indeed very inspiring for many, actually. I mean, whoever would read it, they'll be thoroughly inspired by your book. Your analysis, perspective, and thoughts are extremely insightful and relatable. And the book is very well written and flows easily till the end, and bet you won't read this. Is a wonderfully articulated and insightful book, I must say. And the book title that you have chosen, and the cover, I mean, I'm going up to that depth also. It just says it all. The challenge is loud and clear. I mean, that finger pointing is like a challenge, and I love taking challenges. So you bet. I read your book the moment I received it, and after ages, I've read a good book and I was glued to it. Because you see, like, every negative incident, every negative incident has a positive intent. Okay, so negative emotions come in our life like a gift. When you change the way you look at things, the things will change the way you look at. Though negativity gives a very negative feeling, the sound itself, the word itself is like that, but it is very important in our life as it shows us the path to positivity. For example, like I had mentioned, I think in one of your posts, that the bow and arrow is a clear example. The more the arrow is strung and pulled back, the furthest it goes. So how far will an arrow go if it is not pulled back? I mean, you just don't throw the arrow. I mean, if you throw it, how far will it? It has to go back to move forward. So it is a very, very a good example. And all in all, your book is wonderful. You may say that you are a budding author, Neeloy, but your debut book can be anywhere close to, established authors.
If you would be kind enough to summarize a few, maybe three or four key takeaways that you had from this book.
Yes, sure, sure. See, by the key takeaway here, like, for any reader also, by the end of the book, the reader is bound to view the negativity with a completely different perspective and positive outlook. And they will definitely understand that negativity creates opportunities for them, and they shouldn't fear negativity. And I'm sure the readers will be able to deal with their problems more effectively after reading your book.
Are there any points in the book that you feel I may have dealt with a bit differently? Or are there any parts where you disagree with me?
See, Neela, let me tell you, personally, I have emerged through a lot of pain, and today I realize the value that of that pain, because I am able to judge. I'm able to judge it. I'm able to judge pleasure. I'm able to judge happiness because of what I have gone through. So I relate to your book to the point. However, there are questions that many people have. Okay, and one of the person feels like, I had been reading, so one of the person feels that negativity is slow poison. Negative behaviors corrupt mind, body, soul. There is somebody else who feels that if you feed negativity to yourself, it will kill you slowly and does not do good to anyone. So what would you have to say on this?
Okay, so I think the overall premise, I think that these are very valid and pertinent questions. So what I'm saying is that the typical stereotype that we do is that we avoid the negativity. So what I'm saying is that we should not go out and seek negativity. However, if negativity comes, there is a way by which you could transform these into positive outcomes by a model that I'd mentioned in my book. So we can give those negativities a bit of nudge in terms of maybe a self challenge, or maybe bad news first followed by a good news, to initially have a feeling of dissatisfaction, and then round it off with a feeling of satisfaction. So a couple of things. Similarly, I think the challenge works very well, especially with our children also. The moment you say, I don't think you can do this, then something, instills, and then they dig into the reservoirs of their extra talent and their, I would say, their efforts, I believe. So these are, a couple of things that I wanted to bring out in the book, that the moment there is a negative situation, don't run away from it, analyze it, hear it out, and then after that, you can, take requisite action in leveraging it for a positive outcome. Sometimes a negative emotion can work as a catalyst, okay, to achieve something which would anyway have come, but it might have taken some more time. So
it is bound to happen. I mean, just everything has its opposite. I mean, there is a day to night, there is a wave goes up and down. So, you have to take it in your stride. Yeah.
absolutely. I think one more example that I've personally gone through is, if you want to give up a bad habit, sometimes there are two ways to do it. One is that you could undergo motivation, or you could, look at other people and try to get out of that. The second thing is that, and which I found personally more effective, is that if I'm able to remember the pain that thing gives me, then it's easier to let go rather than think about the good things. Otherwise, you'll forever be in the past. So there are some ways where you could, in fact, leverage it for very positive outcomes for everyone. This last thing I wanted to ask you is that, would you recommend this to others? And in your opinion, what kind of people, what kind of readers would benefit for this, and why?
Yes, definitely. I'll recommend. In fact, I even gifted your book to my sister, and I think, every human goes through some negativity, So if you are asking me what kind of people, I would say that it would be for everyone, I mean, nobody's life is without pain, or nobody's life is, only pleasure and a bed of roses. Yeah. So it is, I think it is recommended for all the people. People should buy a book. They should read it. It is very, very important, because personally also, even if I say that, I have emerged out of my pain, but see, after all, I am a human. I still go into it sometimes or the other, and now that I have your book, even I take your book and I read through it, because earlier, like, if I share my feelings and my pain with others, what I had experienced in the past is that there are people out there waiting to catch you on your vulnerability, and at that moment we don't realize that, who is your friend and who is not. When later, after we get a good lesson in life, then we realize. So I think it's better I have your book. So whenever I feel a little low, after all, I'm a human, I go through that book, and I'm, especially your magic formula, that is the 3 Ps that you have, the tactical, emotional management, pursue, project, and plan. So that is really nice. And I think the book should be read by everyone, because it is very important for people to know that negativity is something. It's important. It's our inner journey. It's the emotions that we feel, the feel of pain, because every pain, there is a healing. Even if you go to the gym and you are working out, your muscles are paining, you don't stop
Yes.
it. But
Yes.
when you're going through that pain, it's not that you are, it's harming you. It is the process of healing which is starting from there.
Exactly. Exactly.
So healing is like a positivity.
Arnold Schwarzenegger actually said that someone asked him that, how many reps do you do? So he said, look, I don't count the reps. The moment it starts
Yes,
paining, that is the time when I count. That's
I
because
count
that's when
pain.
the
Yes,
transformation starts. So you embrace the
I
pain.
think I read it in your book too.
Thank you very much. I think I couldn't have summed it better. A wonderful summary explanation, and thanks for your perspectives. And coming from you, who's a very seasoned author and a superlative person, your feedback really means a lot for me. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you so much, Neeloy. Thank you, everyone. Thanks a lot for having me here.